So I think it's not about like don't stand out, be reserved. It's more about
K-컬처가 전 세계적으로 유행하기 전부터 한국에 대해 주목해왔던 펜실베니아대 사회학과 샘 리처드 교수. 20대에 만난 한국인 대학원생을 통해 한국을 알게 되었고 그 후로 한국인의 매력에 푹 빠져 살았다는 그는 미국 대학에서 20년 가까이 한국에 관한 강의를 해온 한류 연구학자이죠. 그런데 그가 요즘 주목하는 것은 K-팝도 K-드라마도 아니라고 합니다. 지난 몇 년간 부지런히 한국과 미국을 오고 간 그가 평범한 한국인들에게 푹 빠지게 된 사연. 지금부터 실제 강의 영상을 통해 살펴보겠습니다.
I bring like 3 women, 2 from China, 1 from Korea up. Everybody in the room assumes that you're going to be reserved and quiet.
I was going to say like maybe when I'm with my family, like I'm not as like outgoing. Like I don't make as many jokes or I don't talk as much. But then when I'm with my friends who are like American, I feel like I am louder.
So in what
I think like
what is that?
I think the thought process is like you don't want to be like a nuisance to anyone else. Like when I go in public, I still do this. Like I try not to sit near people because I feel like I'm bothering them. But then when you think about it from like an American perspective, I feel like Americans don't actually like care.
You don't sit near people because you don't want to bother them.
Yeah, like I don't want to bother people. But then when like I feel like Americans don't think about that stuff. Like if you sit at the table next to them, they're gonna be like, oh, okay. But I think about that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like you're constantly measuring. It's almost like there's this radar going on, and you're measuring constantly all this like energy around you. And,
yeah.
한국인 학생의 이야기를 들은 샘 리처드 교수. 때마침 떠오른 한국에서 목격한 상황에 대해 털어놓습니다. 이 광경을 처음 봤을 때 도대체 사람들이 왜 그러는지 어리둥절했다고 하는데요. 과연 한국인들의 어떤 점이 그를 놀라게 했을까요?
Here's how everyone's got their backpack on, like this, in the Seoul subway. Why do you think they're wearing it like this? Yeah, so you don't knock. Everyone's got their backpack like this. It's like you don't want to knock anybody. My backpack is like this because I'm not thinking about it because I didn't at first, like, because I always change it when I get in the subway. My backpack is like this, and I'm like knocking somebody like this, and I'm knocking someone around, and then I'm realizing, oh man, hang on, got to change it around because you want to be small. Do you do this in China too? It's a thing. But it's like you want to be small. The last thing I want to do is knock into somebody. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in their space. I want to be really thoughtful and kind. And it's like, get out of the way. And people, when it's crowded, people are pushing around because you can't not do that. But it's like being really aware. I'm like, damn, man, that's this comportment thing, right?
우연히 눈에 들어온 지하철 안 풍경에서도 한국인들의 특징을 느낄 수 있었다고 말하는 샘 리처드 교수. 그는 학생들에게 질문을 던집니다. 혼잡한 지하철 안에서 가방을 앞으로 메거나 자리가 비어 있어도 앉지 않는 등 타인에게 폐를 끼치지 않으려고 하는 한국인들을 보고 무엇을 느꼈는지, 그들이 이렇게 행동하는 이유에 대해서 말이죠. 영상 맨 처음에 잠시 언급된 것처럼 동양인들은 조용하고 소극적이기 때문일까요? 한 한국인 학생이 손을 들고 교수의 질문에 답합니다.
Yeah, one thing that I kind of want to point out is I don't think our culture is like reserved.
Yeah, it's not. The culture isn't reserved.
It's more about because our culture is more on like respecting other people. So it's not about like being shy.
Yeah.
So like
no, it's not. I'm glad you're saying that because it's not like a whole row of shy people. No, you go to Korea or you go to China, it's like people aren't shy, but it's this interpersonal space in which there's just a deep respect.
Before Korea was modernized, we had Confucianism, which is like treat others with respect to elders and like having those culture. Like our country is really small, so in order to fight like bigger countries, like we had to be unified. So having that religion with like treating each other with respect, and now we're modernized and we don't have the religion, like the national religion. Yet like the Confucianism is still like
it's still there.
Yeah, so I think it's not about like don't stand out, be reserved. It's more about we respect you as much as we respect you as much as we want to be respected.
Yeah.
서양인들의 고정관념처럼 한국인들이 내성적이기 때문에 벌어지는 현상이 아닌 유교 이념에서 비롯된 타인을 존중하는 문화가 사회 전반에 스며있기 때문이라고 설명한 한국인 학생 샘 리처드 교수 역시 그녀의 답변에 동의하는데요. 이어진 강의에서 샘 리처드 교수는 왜 미국인들이 한국에 관심을 가져야 하는지에 대해 설명하기 시작합니다.
I'm going to tell you why I think you should pay attention to Korea. Why it would be really wise. Why it would be really wise if you're thinking about looking forward in the world. If you want to be forward-looking and not backward-looking, you pay attention to Korea. The rise and the fall and the rise and the fall. I am 100% convinced that the next rise is in the East. It's in Southeast Asia. No question about it. And if I had children, my children would be studying about Korea and China. They'd be learning Korean. They'd be learning Mandarin. I would be sending them to study abroad in Seoul, not to Rome, not to Paris, not to London. I would be, listen, go for it. You want to be part of the future of the world? You go east. Think east. Imagine east. If I were running a university, these would be the language programs that would be blowing up. These would be the cultural programs, the things that we'd be studying, because I'd want my students to be looking forward. Look, let me just show you a couple of things. I know we don't like numbers. GDP, gross domestic product. So this is the sum total of all the finished goods and services that come out of a country. The finished goods and services, including things that are sold internally and that are sold externally. And let me show you this. In 1965, in the UK, the GDP in the UK was $100 billion. In South Korea, it was $3.1 billion. South Korea was a poor country. Like poor. The GDP in Ghana in 1965 was higher. The GDP in Algeria in 1965 was higher than in South Korea. In 2019, the GDP in the UK is 2.8 trillion, and in South Korea, it's actually about 1.6 trillion. South Korea blew up. Things happened in a really, really serious way. Probably in the history of the world, in my study, in my understanding of the world, there's never been a country that has been able to do what South Korea has done economically. Never has happened. And if you want to it's just like thinking about where the future is. You don't go backwards. If I said, hey, we want to think about the future of energy. And here's what we need to do. We need to reopen a bunch of coal mines in the United States. You'd be thinking, man, you're like looking backwards. In fact, you're looking so backwards, you're looking inside of a closet somewhere. And what are you talking about, coal mines? That's not the future of energy in the world. And you want to know what the future of technology and commerce and moving forward, you start looking in this direction. Utterly fascinating. Dude, I have nothing in particular. There's nothing about Korea or China or anything that I feel like somehow connected to. I'm an American. I'm just a person that's looking at this stuff.